30, he had his whole life ahead of him.
Yeah, a teenager in D.C. is working to turn things around, but he was shot and killed on a street corner in Shaw.
The mentor for Malik Cisse says he was on the path to a better life for himself.
Yeah, this nigga on the train. You want to stop off? Stop off, shawty. Yeah. Ah, you a goofy ass nigga. Ha! Ha! Yeah, this nigga on the train. Come on, Mo. You supposed to be off the nigga. Yeah, get off the train. Come on.
Any nigga that whip a camera out when it's wartime, he's the police. Am I already?
One cold Wednesday night in 2020, 18-year-old Malik Cisse, better known to the rap community as AhkDaClicka, walked to a metro station in downtown Washington, D.C. with a friend, thinking he was going to meet a girl he had been talking to on Instagram. Sadly, just a few minutes after his arrival, AhkDaClicka would become the prey of a catfishing scheme that would end up with his tragic hit. A few minutes later, his friend exited the metro station and found Ahk dead on the ground with a bullet wound through the back of the head. It was around 11:30 p.m. on the night of January 8th, 2020, when AhkDaClicka arrived with a friend at the Mount Vernon Metro Station on the 1300 block of 7th Street in Northwest DC, thinking he was going to meet a girl he had been talking to on Instagram. As AhkDaClicka and his friend neared the station, the woman told him she was outside on the street. Upon their arrival, they didn't see her, so Malik's friend went back and checked inside the station to search for her while AhkDaClicka waited outside. It was meant to be nothing more than a casual meeting with a new girl, and at this point, everything looked completely normal to Ahk, who was unaware that these would be the last few minutes alive. Shortly after his friend went into the station, a white car pulled up next to Ahk and shots were immediately fired. When Ahk's friend came back out to let him know that he hadn't found the woman, he found Ahk's lifeless body on the ground with a bullet wound in his head. Following the tragic hit, Ahk's friends, family members, and fans were completely devastated, and they expressed their disbelief and grief at his passing on social media, especially since he had been taken at such a young age. Tun Talit, one of Ahk's closest friends, talked about the hit in several interviews, saying that Ahk's passing didn't only affect his music career, but his life in general. He also mentioned he was upset because a lot of the information that was being circulated around Ahk and his passing wasn't true, which made the tragic incident especially difficult to process for him.
Forget about my music career, like, it impacted me, like, bro, like, come on, man, that was very like my best friend, like, people talking about best friend, they was they man, niggas very like saying this and that about them too, like, you know what I'm saying, like, they ain't it.
Said that it was hard to believe that he was gone, and mentioned that AhkDaClicka was trying to finish high school and was turning his life around at the time of his passing. Despite growing up in pretty adverse conditions, Ahk was doing his best to build a better future for himself, which is extremely rare and makes it all the more tragic that the streets came back to haunt him that cold night in January.
Happy-go-lucky person, very joking, always flashed a smile. He was very happy, very kind person to those that he knew.
The two met through a youth rehabilitation program. Hawthorne says Cisse was trying to finish high school and loved playing basketball.
Ultimately, he was trying to turn his life around and get some things done in his life so that he can move on to, being a responsible young man.
A few months before the tragic evening in January, at the end of 2019, AhkDaClicka had intensified the rivalry between the 37th and Simple Street with the release of two of his biggest tracks, Yo to the Blow and Straight Facts, where he calls out several deaths from Simple City, which led to shootings in both neighborhoods. Over the past decade, tension between the 37th Street and Simple City neighborhoods in Southeast DC have spiraled out of control. The origins of the conflict is not only on the streets, but also in music and social media. And in the past few years, the war between the two gangs have taken dozens of young lives. Despite his young age, AhkDaClicka had been a member of the 37th Street crew, along with other well-known rappers such as No Savage, Shy Glizzy, and Young Jose, and it was after the release of Straight Facts that things started to get more and more problematic between 37th and Simple City. A couple of days after the release of the track, some friends of William Whitaker, a Simple City rapper better known to the rap community as Walk Down Will, ran into AhkDaClicka on the subway. These kinds of encounters tend to end badly, but fortunately, no blood was shed during the particular incident. Soon after the run-in, a video was posted on Instagram showing AhkDaClicka sitting on the subway with the caption making fun of him for getting caught lacking by his rivals. In the video, another man can be seen mocking and provoking him while he's sitting in his seat. Shortly after the incident, AhkDaClicka and his rival rapper, Walk Down Will, started exchanging private messages on Instagram, and to escalate the conflict, Will posted them on his Instagram Live. In response, AhkDaClicka decided to post an Instagram story insulting another rapper involved in the Metro run-in, along with the YouTube video rapping about it, where he said, "Just give me a Glock and point me to the ops," also dissing Will for being in a different hood before switching to Simple City.
Slam, ops keep catching me down bad, ain't doing nothing. I ain't had that Glock on the bun this time though. Slam, y'all bitches claim y'all fuck with me, man. Give me a lift, so at least I could've hopped out and hit.
Walk Down Will had been focused on his music, but since things were starting to get more personal, he decided to answer his rival rapper with a song called Directed to the Ops, where he mocked AhkDaClicka and other members of 37th. With all this context, it's not hard to see why the tension between the two crews was at an all-time high on the night of Ahk's tragic hit. During the investigation, police browsed through AhkDaClicka's phone as they searched for the reason he was at the station on the night of January 8th. At around the same time, the DC Metropolitan Police Department asked for the public's help to gather any information that could help identify and arrest the person responsible for the homicide, even offering a $25,000 reward. It wasn't until March 2020 that police were able to connect Walk Down Will to the hit of AhkDaClicka, with the main proof being that he had access to the Instagram account of the woman who had allegedly arranged a meeting to lure the rapper to the place of his demise. Also, based on their social media and rap disputes, it was clear that he had a reason to want Ahk dead. As it was later revealed, and according to government evidence, Walk Down Will had impersonated the woman with a fake Instagram account to message AhkDaClicka and arranged a meeting. As soon as the arrest warrant was issued, Walk Down Will went on the run for a couple of months during March and April, and police tried to track him down using some photos he posted on social media in California. But by the time they arrived at the location, he was long gone. Later on, Walk Down Will went back to DC to record what would later become known as his last music video recorded as a free man for his track Warning. While he was recording the video on May 7, 2020, police tracked him down and arrested him for the hit of AhkDaClicka, all of which was captured by bystanders and uploaded on social media. During questioning, Will said he had been shot on the same exact night of the hit of his rival rapper, but because of the overwhelming mountain of evidence stacked against him, prosecutors didn't believe Walk Down Will's weak alibi. The video for the track Warning dropped the day after he was arrested on May 8, 2020, showing the clip of police arresting Will in the intro to the music video. The arrest video was even posted to Will's Instagram account that same day, along with the caption, "Minor setback for a major comeback, I'll be back." The location of the post was DC jail. A few days later, another video was posted to his account, showing audio from a call on May 11, 2020, where he said he wouldn't be stopped, even from behind bars. A few months later, in December 2020, Walk Down Will did an interview from jail where he said that prison felt like a playground to him, and that he had been working on some new music that he was excited to drop as soon as he was set free. Even after everything that happened, Walk Down Will's team didn't stop releasing new songs to keep pushing his music career while he was facing trial for the alleged hit of AhkDaClicka. Throughout the investigation, his fans remained supportive of him and his music, claiming he was innocent of the crime. Unfortunately for them, Walk Down Will pled guilty to the hit on October 14, 2022, in the Superior Court of the District of Columbia before Judge Milton C. Lee, and on March 10, 2023, he was sentenced to 18 years in prison for the slaying of AhkDaClicka in January 2020. Unfortunately, there's no indication that the ongoing war between 37th Street and Simple City will end anytime soon. On June 18, 2022, over Father's Day weekend, Noah Settles, better known to the rap community as No Savage, allegedly fired a gun 3 times inside a crowded mall in Tysons, Virginia. Reports said no one was directly hit by the gunfire, but 3 people were injured as they were evacuating the mall. No Savage then turned himself in to the police and received a sentence of 3 years in prison for his role in the shooting. Additionally, he was sentenced to 10 years of probation and is permanently forbidden from entering the mall again. Considering the intensity of the war between 37th and Simple City, it's tragic to see how such a young life was brutally cut short, especially since it appeared that Ahk was doing everything in his power to free himself from the chains of the streets and build a good future for himself. AhkDaClicka will forever be missed and remembered by his family and close friends as a happy, talented, and kind person. May his legacy live on through his music and memory for many, many years to come. Rest in peace, AhkDaClicka.